Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL STAR. Today I gonna discuss about FPL Gaming 4 Pre-analysis. So before starting, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel for FPL content throughout the season. Now let's start, and for Game Week 4, you should ignore early transfer. 12 team will play in Carabao Cup second round, and this Carabao Cup second round schedule is in between Game Week 3 and Game Week 4. So you should ignore early transfer because in Carabao Cup a lot of FPL player can be injured. Now move on to the Game Week 4 top watch list, and if you look in the attacking player for Game Week 3 performance, Erling Haaland expected goal in Game Week 3 was 2.11, which is highest among all the FPL player, and Matty Cash, who scored 2 goal, has got 1.51 expected goal in Game Week 3. Bruno Fernandes 1.42, Saka 1.34, and Sterling got 1.25 expected goal in Game Week 4, and all these 5 players return in Game Week 4. And if you look at the expected assist, here Bruno Fernandes is also favored, 1.11 expected assist. Diaby got 1 and Watkins got 0.9. This means Aston Villa attackingly playing well. Other 2 players in this list is Grealish 0.75 expected assist and Neto from Wolves 0.70 expected assist in Game Week 3. Now move on to the top 5 team in attacking point of view. Brighton in first 3 match got 8.9 expected goal score ratio, so they are the best attack in this league. Aston Villa on the other hand got 7.6, and Manchester City attackingly looks good also. So you should target Brighton, Aston Villa, Man City, Man U or Chelsea player for your attacking lineup. And if you look at the defense, City has got the best defense. Their expected goal concede ratio is 1.3 in 3 matches. This means in 3 matches they are expected to concede just 1 goal. And if you look at Arsenal, Arsenal defensively looks also solid. Their expected goal concede ratio is 2.9. Brentford is quite similar to Arsenal, and Chelsea and Newcastle are other 2 best defense. Now move on to the predicted clean sheet for Game Week 4. And if you look at the Game Week 4 predicted clean sheet, Manchester City is favored here. Their expected clean sheet odd is 51% against Fulham. Chelsea got 45% chance of maintaining clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, and Crystal Palace got 38% chance of Wolves, and West Ham got 38% against Luton also. So you should target Manchester City, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, West Ham and Brentford defender for Game Week 4. This clean sheet odd shows this. Now move on to the predicted point for forward, and Erling Haaland is favored here in Game Week 4. He is predicted 8.3 point. Nicola Jackson is the second here, 4.7 predicted point. Watkins 4.2, Solanke 3.8, and Morris got 3.6. If you look at the long term, next 5 game week, Erling Haaland is also favored. They have got 36 predicted point. Watkins 22, Nicola Jackson 21, Solanke 20, and Morris 18. These 5 forward you should target for your Game Week 4 team. Now move on to the midfield option, and here Salah is the favorite. His predicted point is 7 in Game Week 4. Mbemo got 5.7, Foden got 5.5 predicted point, and 2 Arsenal midfielder Odegaard and Martinelli got 5 and 4.9 predicted point. If you look at the long term here, also Salah is the favorite, 33 predicted point for Game Week 4 to 8. Rashford got 27 and Fernandes got 26. If you look at Tottenham as a Son got 25 predicted point, which is quite surprising. But in last match, he played in the center forward position in last part, so that might be the case. Now move on to the defensive option, and if you look at the defender predicted point here, Pinnock is the favorite, 4.7 predicted point. Ben Mee from Brentford also got 4.6 predicted point. Chilwell got 4.5. Alexander Arnold and Udogi got 4.3 predicted point for Game Week 4. And if you look at the long term, Trippier is their favorite here. He got 23 predicted point, and also other Newcastle defender Fabian Schär got 22. This means that when Newcastle fixer improve, I think they can maintain clean sheet, and that's why their predicted point is so good. Alexander Arnold on the other hand got 21 predicted point, Chilwell 20, and Udogi 19 predicted point for Game Week 4 to Game Week 8. Now move on to the goalkeeping option, and in goalkeeping option, I think Ederson is the favorite. 5.2 predicted point for Ederson. Johnston got 4.5, but I think now he has got rotation risk because of Henderson now signed for Crystal Palace. Blackend on the other hand got 4.5 predicted point. Areola 4.1 million goalkeeper got 4.2 predicted point, and Tottenham goalkeeper Vicario got 4.1 predicted point. If you look at the long term, here Ederson is also favored. They are 24 predicted point. Pope got 21, Ramsdale 20, and Vicario and Johnston got 19 predicted point. Now move on to the first dilemma for game week 4, and is Let's Chilwell already in your team. Now which Chelsea player will be your second Chelsea asset for game week 4? And if you look at the engaged FPL manager trends, 42% are thinking that Sterling is the second best Chelsea asset, and 22% are for Gusto and 24% for Jackson. If you look at my ranking, I gave Jackson the most priority because there are not a lot of forward decisions. So I think Jackson is the outstanding one. His expected data looks good and it's better than Sterling, but his finishing is not up to the mark. And in second position, my rank is Sterling, and then in rank third position, Gusto. I rank Sterling ahead of Gusto because if you look at Sterling performance, he performed very well, but if you look at Gusto, if Rich James fit in game week 6, then I think Gusto will be benched, so that's why he's in the third. Now move on to the next dilemma, and is what about West Ham FPL asset? Though now WordPros become an FPL option, will Kudos 6.5 million signing affect WordPros? And my opinion is that West Ham this season looks good. If you look at West Ham last season performance, they are not performing well, but this season they are looking good. And if you look at their fixture run in game week 4, it got Luton away, but after that from game week 5 they have got tricky run of fixture. So that's why you should watch more about West Ham and before bringing their player. If you look at the WordPros performance, he is now playing as a attacking midfield position. So if he continue to play in the attacking midfield position, I think he will be a good option. But as now Kudos is signed, he's a very good versatile player. He can either play in the right wing, in the attacking midfield position, and the center forward position. So he's a versatile player. So he might sometime affect WordPros. Now move on to the dilemma number 3, and it's if you have Manchester United and Arsenal midfield double up, are you considering selling any of these two team players in game week 4? And if you look at the engaged FPL manager trends here, 46% engaged FPL manager are thinking of selling one Arsenal midfield, where only 12% are considering selling Manchester United asset. And if you look at the selling both team asset, 27% are thinking that they will sell one Manchester United and one Arsenal asset, and 15% are not selling any of their Manchester United and Arsenal midfield. And if you look at my ranking, if I want to sell one of the midfield for Arsenal or Manchester United, I will also prefer selling Arsenal mid, and it might be Martinelli because his expected data doesn't looks good for game week 1, 2, 3, and that's why he might be a sale. And the second one, I think if you want to sell Manchester United asset, I think it's also viable because if you sell one Manchester United asset, Rashford should be the one. But if you look at the Bruno Fernandes expected data, it looks fabulous, but Rashford struggling in front of the goal. He's out of form player, so you might sell Rashford here. And my rank 3 here is selling one from both team, and I'm not preferring this kind of thing. If you want to sell one Manchester United and one Arsenal attack to go for Sterling, Foden or Madison, that might be viable option. Now move on to the dilemma number 4, and it thought on several new signings like Doku from Manchester City, who is priced at 6.5 million, and Castagna from Fulham, he now signed from Leicester City, and Dean Henderson for Crystal Palace. Now if you look at my opinions on these three players, for Doku, I think he will be a great FPL option in future because he just by 6.5 million, a right winger who can play very well. So I think he will be a good option in future. And if you look at the Castagna, and at present condition, I am not interested to go for him because Fulham defense doesn't looks good, and that's why I'm not considering Castagna. But if he played in the attacking role, then he might be an option in future. And if you look at the other option is Henderson, 4.5 million goalkeeper for Crystal Palace, and I think he will be the first choice goalkeeper for Crystal Palace. So if you are a Johnstone owner, then it might be a problem for you. Now move on to the dilemma number 5, and it's if you are going to sell one popular Brighton FPL player because of hard fixer run, who will be the one? And this here involved Mitoma, Stupinian and March. And I think Joe Pedro, Ulbeck or Ferguson is a straightforward sale. And also Pascal Group and other Brighton asset, if you have, then I think they are priority sale. But if you look at the Brighton goalkeeper, in last match Barbugan start for Brighton and Steely bench, so I think selling any other Brighton asset is a must. But if you look at these three players, Mitoma, Marsh or Stupinian, they are performing well. So 36% FPL manager are thinking that they will sell Mitoma for their first priority, and 19% are going for Marsh, and 25% English manager are thinking of selling Stupinian if they have to sell one. But my selling rank is also quite similar like that. I am preferring selling Mitoma because if you look at Mitoma's performance, he's performed well, but Marsh is more advanced than him, so that's why Mitoma is ahead of Marsh in selling priority. And if you look at the Stupinian performance, though Brighton defense looks shaky, they concede a lot of goal, but still Stupinian is a good option. He gives attacking return in every game, so that's why he is in the rank 3 position. And if I have to sell one, I will sell Mitoma here. Now move on to the next dilemma, and is it odd buying Madison, Sterling, and Foden with -4 hit, and going for this 3 player for -4 hit is it's a quite attracting strategy because Madison, Sterling, Foden got easy run of fixers. So if they can give you point, then it will be a very helpful for you. If you look at the long term, it will affect your team. And the negative thing about this, Foden is not a long term pick. City has got a lot of FPL option. Doku now signed, and also they are going for another attacking midfield position player, so there are a lot of competition. Foden means is not secured, so it is a not long-term pick, and taking hit is always bad, and it's also a negative thing. You are taking hit, and it will affect you -4 points. My suggestion for this matter is that prefer hit over early wildcard, and if you have 2 or 3 transfer to make, I think you should make it. Don't go for early wildcard here. And also other thing about that, it's also depend on your midfield setup. If your midfield option doesn't looks good, you have got 1 or 2 or 3 bad player in your midfield option, then you can go for these 3 player with -4 hit. Now move on to the next dilemma, and is who is the best Joe Pedro replacement in game week 4? And 47% engaged FPL manager are thinking about Nicola Jackson, 23% are Alvarez, and Wisa got 20%. And Watkins also got 10%. If you look at my rank, I prefer Wisa over any other forward option because he is just 6.1 million or 2 million forward, playing well, the central striker for Brentford, and also he's quite attacking. The second option here, I think, will be Jackson. If I have Wisa in my team, then I will go for Jackson. And Jackson expected data looks good, and Watkins has got bad fixer ahead, so that's why he's in rank 3, but he performed well also. And Alvarez, I put him in the 4th position because he has got huge minute race. Now move on to the next dilemma, and is who is the best less than 5 million defender, and I prefer Udogi here because he is quite attacking. And if you look at Tottenham performance, I think they perform well in defensively, and Udogi is playing in the left back position, and he is more advanced than the right back Pedro Porro or Emerson. That's why he's a nailed player and also attacking player, so that's why he's in rank 1. And if you look at the number 2 here is Cash. In last match he playing as a winger, but I don't think he will play in every match because there is Bailey here. But if Matty Cash continue playing in the wing position, then I think he is a very good option, and that's why I put him in the 2nd position. The third one is Henry. He is sometimes playing as a left wing back or sometimes as a left back. He's quite attacking, and also Brentford perform well defensively, so he is in rank 3. In the rank 4 is Pinnock. I put Pinnock in the rank 4 position because he has got some rotation risks, but I don't think it will happen soon because Ben Mead just now came from injury, so I don't think it will affect Pinnock, and that's why he's in rank 4 position. He has got good goal trade. And in 5 position is Digne. And if you look at his performance, he is playing as a left back but playing very advanced. He crosses a lot, but when Alex Moreno will be there, I think Luke Dinme will be dropped, and that's why he is in the 5th one. And 6th one is Gusto. He's a short-term pick for game week 4 or 5, but after that, I think when Reed James will be fit, he will not be in the team, and that's why he's in the 6th position. Now move on to dilemma number 9, and is what is your transfer plan ahead of game week 4? and 72% engaged FPL manager are going for only free transfer, and 13% are rolling their transfer for game week 4, and just 6% are taking -8 hit, and 9% are taking -4 hit. If you look at the combined hit taken by the FPL manager is 15%. My preference here is that I will use only free transfer for game week 4. I will not take any hit. Now move on to the last question, and is who will be the captain for game week 4? And it's not only Erling Haaland there, just 71% going for Erling Haaland and 18% are going for Mbemu and Uisa. That's a surprising one, because if you look at the last few game week, it was 85 or 90%, but now 71%. I think it gone dropped because of Erling Haaland's poor form, and 8% are going for Salah and 3% are going for other FPL asset, but my preference here is also Erling Haaland. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, and if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel for FPL content for the season, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Good luck for your team.